My child, pause for just a moment. Before you think about everything waiting for you today, before your mind begins racing toward tomorrow, stay here with me. I know your heart has been carrying more than anyone realizes. You smile when others are watching. You keep moving because you believe you have to. But when the room grows quiet, your thoughts become heavy again. You wonder what will happen next. You wonder if everything will be all right. You wonder if you are strong enough for what may come. I have seen every one of those thoughts. Not one of them has escaped my eyes. You have been trying to carry tomorrow before it has even arrived. You have been fighting battles that have not yet begun. You have spent sleepless nights searching for answers that today cannot give. No wonder your soul feels tired. No wonder your heart longs for rest. But listen carefully, my child. I did not create you to live beneath the weight of fears about a future you cannot see. I have never asked you to solve every problem before it appears. I have only asked you to walk with me, one step at a time. This very moment, I am closer than you realize, closer than your worries, closer than your questions, closer than every fear that has been whispering to your heart. So let those anxious thoughts grow quiet for a little while. Do not rush ahead. Do not let your heart run toward tomorrow. Remain here with me, because before I speak about your future, I want to remind you that you are already safe in my presence. Just stay here with me for a moment and listen to my voice. My child, I know there are burdens you have never spoken aloud. There are worries you carry quietly, questions you keep hidden, fears you smile through so that no one else will notice. But I notice. I always have. When everyone else believes you are doing well, I see the weight resting upon your shoulders. I see the moments when your thoughts begin to race, before the day has even started. I see how quickly your heart leaves today and wanders into tomorrow, trying to prepare for every possibility, every disappointment, every unanswered question. You tell yourself that if you think about it long enough, perhaps you can prevent the pain before it arrives. If you imagine every outcome, perhaps you will not be caught by surprise. If you worry enough today, tomorrow will somehow become easier. But, my child, that is not how I designed your heart to live. Worry has been asking you to carry responsibilities that were never yours. It whispers that everything depends on you. It tells you that you must always be prepared, that you must never slow down, that if you rest, something important will fall apart. Those whispers grow louder when the night becomes quiet. They return before the sun rises. They follow you while you work. They interrupt your moments of peace. Little by little, they steal the joy I intended for this day. Yet I want you to understand something. Your exhaustion does not come only from the things you have already faced. Much of it comes from carrying things that have not even happened. You have been grieving conversations that never took place. You have been fearing outcomes that have not been decided. You have been carrying tomorrow's weight while trying to survive today's journey. No human heart was created to bear that burden. Not yours. Never yours. Look back for a moment. How many times have you worried about something that never came to pass? How many nights did fear convince you that everything was about to collapse, only for a new morning to arrive with mercies you never expected? I was there then, just as I am here now. I did not leave you in those moments. I have not forgotten you today, and I will not abandon you tomorrow. Before tomorrow reaches you, it must first pass through my hands. Nothing surprises me. Nothing catches me unprepared. The future that seems uncertain to you is already known to me. Every road, every door, every delay, every answer, even the tears you have not yet cried, are already seen by the one who loves you without measure. So why do you believe you must carry what I have already placed into my own hands? Why do you insist on holding tightly to burdens I have been asking you to release? I am not disappointed in you for feeling afraid. I know your heart. I know how deeply you care about your family, your future, your responsibilities, your dreams, your loved ones. Your desire to do what is right is beautiful, but fear has quietly convinced you that caring means carrying everything alone. That is not my way. My way has always been different. When you become weary, I invite you closer. When you cannot see the path ahead, I ask you to trust my eyes instead of your own. When your strength begins to fail, I do not stand at a distance waiting for you to become stronger. I come nearer, I walk beside you. I lift what you cannot lift by yourself. Even now, as you listen to my voice, I am inviting your heart to loosen its grip on the worries that have occupied your mind for so long. Not because those concerns are unimportant, but because you are too precious to spend another day crushed beneath burdens that do not belong to you. There is enough grace for today, enough strength for today, enough peace for today. Tomorrow will arrive in its appointed time. And when it does, you will discover that I am already there, waiting for you just as faithfully as I am with you now. So do not hide your worries from me, my child. Place them gently into my hands and remain close to me. My child, there is something I want you to notice. Many of the things that steal your peace have not actually happened. They exist only in your imagination. They live inside questions that begin with, what if? What if this door never opens? What if I lose what I have? What if my family faces hardship? What if I make the wrong decision? What if everything changes? Those questions seem harmless at first. They appear to be your way of preparing, your way of protecting yourself. But slowly, without realizing it, you begin to live inside those possibilities instead of the life I have placed before you today. You wake up carrying tomorrow. You walk through today thinking about next month. You try to solve problems that have not yet arrived. And before the day is even halfway finished, your heart already feels exhausted. That is not because today has demanded too much from you. It is because fear has asked you to live several days at once. I never intended for your heart to carry such a weight. Look at the birds that greet the morning. They do not gather anxiety for seasons that have not yet come. They receive what they need for each new day. Look at the flowers that bloom in their appointed time. They do not struggle to force tomorrow's sunlight into today. Everything I created follows the rhythm I established. Only the human heart so often tries to outrun the time I have lovingly prepared. And when it does, it loses the peace I freely offer. My child, I know waiting is not easy. I know uncertainty can feel uncomfortable. You want answers. You want clarity. You want to know how everything will unfold before you take another step. But if I revealed every detail of your future, there would be little room left for trust. Faith grows when you continue walking even while you cannot see the entire road. Trust deepens when you choose my voice over your fears. That is why I ask you to stay close to me instead of racing ahead of me. You do not have to know everything. You only need to know the one who does. Remember how many times I have led you through places you never imagined you could survive. At the beginning, those seasons frightened you. You wondered how you would make it. You questioned whether you had enough strength. Yet here you are, not because every path was easy, not because every prayer was answered the way you expected, but because my hand never released yours. The same hand that carried you then is carrying you now. Nothing about my faithfulness has changed. I have not become less powerful. I have not become less loving. I have not become less attentive to your life. Every concern you whisper reaches me. Every silent tear is seen. Every restless night is known. Even before you ask for my help, I am already working in ways your eyes cannot yet perceive. While you worry about tomorrow, I am preparing tomorrow. While you wonder how things will come together, I am quietly arranging what only I can arrange. People will cross your path at the right time. Doors will open at the right time. Wisdom will come at the right time. Strength will arrive exactly when you need it. Not before, not after. Exactly when my perfect love knows it is best. So do not measure my presence by how much you understand today. Measure it by my unchanging character. I have always been faithful. I will remain faithful. And I will continue to lead you one step at a time, just as I always have. Release the pressure to have every answer. Release the burden of controlling what belongs to tomorrow. There is beauty waiting for you in this day if you will simply allow your heart to remain here with me. You do not need to rush ahead. You do not need to force what I have already promised to unfold in its proper season. So take a slow breath, my child. Stay here with me, and let today's grace be enough for today. And as you begin to let today's grace be enough for today, there is one more truth I want to settle deep within your heart. You are not walking toward an unknown future alone. You may not know what tomorrow holds, but I do. Long before this day began, I was already there. Before the sun rose over your life this morning, I had already seen every hour that would follow. Before your heart became troubled by unanswered questions, I had already prepared the strength you would need. Before a single obstacle appeared in your path, my presence was already waiting there. Nothing you will face will ever arrive before I do. Remember that, my child. The future is uncertain only to you. It has never been uncertain to me. When you stand at a crossroads, wondering which direction to take, I already see where every road leads. When you hesitate because you fear making the wrong decision, I am not overwhelmed by the possibilities that trouble your mind. My wisdom is never confused. My vision is never limited. I see the beginning and the end together, while you can only see the next few steps before you. That is why I ask you to trust me, not because I expect blind obedience, but because I can see what you cannot. There have been moments when you prayed for one door to open, yet I gently kept it closed. At the time, you struggled to understand. You wondered if I had forgotten you. You questioned whether I had heard your prayers. But later, you discovered that what felt like disappointment was actually protection. The delay you feared became a blessing. The closed door became an act of love. How many times have I quietly redirected your path without you even realizing it? How many unseen dangers have I carried you around? How many disappointments eventually became reasons for gratitude? You know the answer, even if you cannot count them all. That is why I want you to stop believing that every unanswered question is a sign that I am absent. Silence does not mean abandonment. Waiting does not mean I have forgotten you. Delay does not mean I have changed my mind concerning you. Very often, I am accomplishing my greatest work in the moments when everything appears still. Seeds grow beneath the soil long before anyone sees the first green leaf. The sunrise begins long before its light reaches the horizon. In the same way, many of my answers begin long before your eyes are able to recognize them. While you are asking, when, I am preparing. While you are asking, how, I am arranging. While you are asking, will everything be all right, I am already surrounding your tomorrow with my faithfulness. You have spent so much energy trying to imagine every possible outcome. But my child, you do not have to imagine what I already know. You do not have to control what already rests securely in my hands. Your responsibility is not to carry tomorrow. Your responsibility is to remain close to me today. Stay where my peace can reach your heart. Stay where my voice is louder than your fears. Stay where trust grows one quiet step at a time. Do not be discouraged if your mind wanders back toward worry. Simply return to me again and again. Each time you choose to trust instead of fear, your heart becomes a little lighter. Not because every question has been answered, but because you are remembering who is walking before you. I have never asked you to understand every detail of my plan. I have only invited you to walk beside me as I unfold it, one day at a time. And I promise you this, my beloved child, when tomorrow finally becomes today, you will discover exactly what you have discovered so many times before. I was already there, waiting for you, walking beside you, holding you with the same faithful hands that have never failed you. So keep your eyes on me, not on tomorrow. Trust that wherever you are going, my presence has already gone before you. Wherever my presence has already gone before you, my child, there is no reason for fear to lead your heart. Fear will always try to speak first. It rushes into your thoughts before the morning begins. It fills the silence with endless possibilities. It asks questions that have no answers. It paints pictures that have never become reality. Its voice is loud, persistent, impatient. But my voice is different. I do not rush you. I do not overwhelm you. I do not fill your heart with confusion. When I speak, I bring peace. When I guide, I bring clarity. When I lead, I never drive you with fear. Perhaps you have mistaken anxiety for wisdom. You have believed that if you worry enough, you will somehow be more prepared. If you expect the worst, you will not be disappointed. If you constantly stay alert, nothing will catch you by surprise. But look carefully at what that way of living has given you. Has it brought rest? Has it filled your heart with confidence? Has it made you feel closer to me? Or has it simply left you tired before the day has even begun? Fear promises control, yet it gives only exhaustion. It convinces you that everything depends on your ability to predict the future. But I have never asked you to predict what only I can see. I have asked you to trust the one who already sees it. My child, faith is not pretending that difficulties will never come. Faith is knowing that no difficulty arrives without first passing beneath my watchful eyes. There will be moments that challenge you. There will be decisions that require courage. There will be days when you cannot understand what I am doing. But those moments do not mean I have stepped away. They are not evidence that my promises have failed. They are simply opportunities for you to discover that my faithfulness is stronger than your fears. Think of how often your mind has imagined a future filled with loss, yet I have continued to provide. Think of how often you feared being alone, yet I continued to send comfort in ways you never expected. Think of how many times you believed you had reached the end of your strength, yet somehow you found enough grace to keep moving. That was not an accident. That was my hand sustaining you. I am still that same God today. I have not grown weary of caring for you. I have not become distracted by the concerns of this world. Your life still matters deeply to me. Every prayer still reaches my heart. Every tear is still precious in my sight. Every hope you quietly carry is still known by me. So when fear tells you that you must figure everything out before you can have peace, do not believe it. Peace does not come after every question has been answered. Peace comes when you remember who is holding your future. The future has never rested upon your shoulders. It has always rested in my hands. Lay down the pressure to have every solution. Lay down the burden of trying to control every outcome. You were never created to live that way. You were created to walk with me, one conversation at a time, one decision at a time, one day at a time. And every time your thoughts begin to race ahead again, do not condemn yourself. Simply return. Return to my presence. Return to my promises. Return to the quiet place where my voice becomes clearer than your worries. I will never grow tired of welcoming you back. Again and again, I will remind you of the same unchanging truth. You do not have to carry what I have already promised to carry for you. That burden has never belonged to you. It belongs to me. So let your heart choose faith instead of fear, my child, and allow my peace to walk beside you through this day. And when you choose faith instead of fear, my child, you begin to see your own story differently. For so long your eyes have been fixed on what might happen next that you have forgotten where I have already brought you from. Pause for a moment. Look behind you, not to remain in the past, but to remember my faithfulness. There were seasons when you believed you would never smile again. Days when your heart felt unbearably heavy. Nights when sleep would not come because your mind refused to be still. You remember those moments. You remember the questions, the uncertainty, the tears that no one else saw. Yet somehow, here you are. You are still standing. You are still breathing. You are still hearing my voice today. Do not think that happened by chance. I was with you in every one of those moments. When you thought you had reached the end of your strength, I quietly became your strength. When you believed no one understood your pain, I remained beside you, listening to every unspoken prayer. When the road seemed too dark to continue, I became the light you could not yet see. Many times, my work was invisible. You could not recognize my hand while I was carrying you. Only later did you look back and realize that I had never abandoned you. That is often how my faithfulness appears, not always in dramatic moments, not always through sudden miracles, but through quiet, steady love that refuses to leave your side, one day at a time, one breath at a time, one step at a time. My child, I know it is easy to remember your disappointments. The human heart often holds tightly to painful memories. It remembers the doors that closed, the prayers that seemed unanswered, the people who walked away, the opportunities that never came. But I also want you to remember the countless ways I have cared for you. Remember the unexpected provision that arrived when you needed it most. Remember the peace that settled over your heart without explanation. Remember the kindness I sent through another person. Remember the strength that appeared when you believed you had nothing left. Those were not coincidences. Those were reminders that I have always been working, even when you could not see me. If I have been faithful through every yesterday, why would I abandon your tomorrow? Has my love changed? Has my mercy become smaller? Have my promises become weaker? No, my child. I remain the same. The hands that guided you through yesterday are still holding you today, and they will still be holding you when tomorrow arrives. This is why I ask you not to build your future upon fear. Build it upon remembrance. Remember who has carried you. Remember who has comforted you. Remember who has never stopped calling you by name. Your confidence does not have to come from knowing what will happen next. It can come from knowing the one who has never failed you before. Even now, there are blessings in your life that once existed only as prayers. There are answers you once begged me for that have quietly become part of your everyday life. Perhaps you no longer notice them because they have become familiar, but I have not forgotten them. Every gift is still an expression of my love. Every breath is still evidence of my grace. Every new morning is another reminder that my mercy has never run out. So when your heart begins to wonder whether I will take care of tomorrow, let your memories answer before your fears do. Let them remind you that my faithfulness is not a single moment. It is the story of your life. From your first breath until this very moment, I have been writing that story with patience, compassion, and unwavering love. And I am not finished yet. There are still chapters you have not read. There are still blessings you have not recognized. There are still quiet miracles unfolding beyond what your eyes can presently see. So do not allow fear to write the ending of a story that I am still lovingly writing with my own hands. Remember what I have already done for you, my child, and let those memories give your heart the courage to trust me with everything that is still to come. And because I am still writing your story, my child, you do not need to read every page before it's time. You have often asked me for enough strength to face the rest of your life, enough wisdom for every decision, enough courage for every battle that may come. But that is not how my grace has ever been given. I have always provided what you needed for the moment you were living. No more, no less. Every morning, the sun rises without asking permission from yesterday. Every evening, the stars appear without worrying about tomorrow. All of creation moves according to the rhythm I have established. Only the human heart tries to gather tomorrow's strength before tomorrow arrives. That is why you sometimes feel empty. Not because I have withheld my grace, but because you are searching for today's provision in tomorrow's concerns. My child, I have never promised you strength for next year while you are still living today. I have promised you strength for this day. When tomorrow becomes today, my grace will meet you there just as faithfully as it is meeting you now. Think about the journey you have already walked with me. There were days you believed you could never survive. Yet when those days finally arrived, I gave you exactly what was needed. Not weeks before, not months before, at the very moment you needed it. That is my way. I rarely reveal everything at once. Instead, I invite you to trust me, one step at a time. One sunrise at a time, one prayer at a time, one quiet act of faith at a time. If I showed you every detail of your journey today, your eyes might become fixed on the road instead of the one walking beside you. But I desire something greater than certainty. I desire closeness. I desire that each morning you would come to me again, not because you have no other choice, but because you know my presence is where your peace is found. Do not be troubled by the fact that you cannot see far ahead. You do not need to. A traveler carrying a lamp through the night does not need light for the entire road. The lamp simply reveals the next few steps, then the next, and then the next again. In the same way, my guidance is sufficient for each moment I ask you to live. If I have only shown you today's step, then today's step is enough. Do not demand from yourself what I have not asked of you. You have placed expectations upon your own heart that I never placed there. You believe you must have every answer before you can rest. You believe you must solve every problem before you can have peace. You believe you must secure every tomorrow before you can enjoy today. But my beloved child, peace is not the reward for controlling your future. Peace is the gift I give to those who trust me with it. So release the pressure that has been weighing upon your heart. Release the feeling that you are somehow falling behind because you do not know what comes next. You are not behind. You are exactly where I have asked you to be. Here, today, with me. That is enough. Do not compare your journey with anyone else's. Do not measure your progress by what others seem to have accomplished. I am leading each of my children with perfect wisdom. The pace I have chosen for you is intentional. Nothing about your journey has escaped my attention. Even the pauses have purpose. Even the waiting has meaning. Even the quiet seasons are filled with my unseen work. So when your mind begins reaching for tomorrow once again, gently bring it back to this moment. Listen to my voice. Feel my presence. Notice the blessings already surrounding you, the breath within your lungs, the heartbeat in your chest, the people I have placed beside you, the mercy that greeted you when you opened your eyes this morning. These are reminders that I have already provided for today. And if I have faithfully provided for today, you can rest knowing that I will faithfully provide again when tomorrow becomes today. So, walk with me through this day, my child. Leave tomorrow where it belongs in my hands, and let my grace be enough for this moment. And as you leave tomorrow in my hands, my child, there is something I want your heart to understand. Many people spend their lives waiting for peace. They tell themselves that peace will come when the problem is solved, when the bills are paid, when the family is restored, when the doctor's report is favorable, when every uncertainty disappears. Perhaps you have believed that as well. Perhaps you have thought that one day, after everything finally falls into place, your heart will be able to rest. But if your peace depends upon perfect circumstances, then it will always remain fragile. Because this world will always present another challenge, another question, another unexpected turn. That is why I have never promised you a life without storms. Instead, I have promised that you would never face them without me. There is a difference, my child, a very great difference. Peace is not found in the absence of difficulty. Peace is found in my presence. When your heart remembers that I am near, fear begins to lose its voice. Not because every answer has arrived, but because my presence becomes greater than the questions. Think of the child who falls asleep during a storm. The wind still blows, the rain still falls, the thunder still echoes across the sky. Yet the child rests peacefully because a loving father is close. The storm has not disappeared. The security comes from knowing someone trustworthy is there. That is how I desire your heart to rest. Not because every circumstance has changed, but because you know I have not changed. I am the same yesterday. I am the same today, and I will be the same tomorrow. When everything around you seems uncertain, my love remains certain. When people change, I remain faithful. When plans are interrupted, my purpose continues. When your own strength feels small, my strength never diminishes. Do not underestimate what my presence can do within a heart that chooses to trust me. I can calm an anxious mind without changing a single circumstance. I can fill an uncertain heart with confidence before the answer ever arrives. I can give you rest in the middle of waiting, hope in the middle of disappointment, joy in the middle of ordinary days. These gifts do not come because life has become easy. They come because I am with you. My child, I know there are moments when you wish I would remove every obstacle immediately. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I choose another way. Sometimes I walk beside you through the valley instead of taking you around it. Not because I delight in your struggle, but because there are things you will discover beside me that you could never discover anywhere else. You will learn that my strength is real, that my comfort is real, that my promises are not beautiful words spoken from a distance. They are living truth, experienced one day at a time. Never believe that waiting means you are forgotten. Never believe that silence means I have gone away. Even when you cannot feel my hand as clearly as you would like, it is still holding yours. Even when your prayers seem to disappear into the quiet, they continue to rise before me. Even when your eyes cannot see, my work continues. That is why I ask you not to measure my nearness by your emotions. Some days you will feel strong. Some days you will feel weak. Some days peace will come easily. Other days your thoughts will wander back toward worry. But my presence is not determined by your feelings. It is determined by my promise, and my promises never change. So whenever your heart begins searching for peace in perfect circumstances, gently turn back toward me. Come into my presence again. Speak honestly with me. Sit quietly with me. Allow my love to settle the places inside you that the world cannot reach. There you will find the peace you have been searching for all along. Not because tomorrow has become certain, but because you have remembered that I am. So receive my peace, my child. Let my presence be the quiet place where your heart learns to rest, today and every day. As your heart begins to rest in my presence, my child, you will slowly discover something that fear has hidden from you for far too long. Just because you cannot see me working does not mean I have become still. There are seasons when my work is quiet, so quiet that you may wonder if anything is happening at all. You pray, you wait, another day passes, then another. Nothing seems different. The same questions remain. The same responsibilities greet you each morning. The same uncertainty tries to find its way back into your thoughts. In moments like these, it is easy to believe that I have forgotten your prayers. But I have not. Not one of them. Every word you have spoken to me has been heard. Even the prayers that never left your lips. Even the tears that became your prayer when words were no longer enough. I have gathered them all. There is much that takes place beyond what your eyes can see. While you are watching the surface, I am working at the roots. While you are looking for immediate change, I am shaping things that will last. You often ask me to move quickly because you long for relief. I understand that longing. I know what it feels like to wait. But if I answered every prayer at the exact moment you desired, you might never discover how faithfully I have been sustaining you throughout the waiting itself. Waiting is not wasted when you are waiting with me. It is in those quiet seasons that trust grows deeper, not because life becomes easier, but because you begin to recognize that my faithfulness does not depend upon visible results. Think about a seed resting beneath the soil. For a long time, nothing appears to happen. The ground looks unchanged. Anyone passing by might believe the seed has been forgotten. Yet beneath the surface, life is already unfolding. Roots are reaching deeper. Strength is quietly developing. Growth has begun long before anyone can see it. My work in your life is often like that. Before I change your circumstances, I strengthen your heart. Before I open a new door, I prepare you to walk through it. Before I answer the prayer in the way you expect, I am already accomplishing something beautiful within you. Do not mistake my patience for absence. Do not mistake my silence for indifference. I have never looked away from you, not for a single moment. Even now, there are people I am preparing to encourage you. Conversations that will happen at the right time. Opportunities that are drawing closer with each passing day. Answers that are already moving according to my perfect wisdom. You cannot see them yet, but I can. That is enough. You do not need to force tomorrow to arrive early. You do not need to keep opening the door to worry just because you cannot yet see what is beyond it. Rest instead. Allow me to carry what only I can carry. Allow me to arrange what only I can arrange. You have tried so hard to understand everything. Perhaps today, instead of understanding everything, you can simply trust me a little more. That is enough for this moment. I have never asked you to have perfect faith. I have only invited you to keep bringing your heart back to me. Again and again. Each time you choose trust over anxiety, even if only for a few moments, your heart becomes more familiar with my peace. Little by little, the weight begins to lift. Not because every answer has arrived, but because you are no longer trying to carry them by yourself. One day you will look back on this season, just as you have looked back on many others. You will see places where you thought nothing was happening, and you will realize that those were the very places where my hands were working most carefully. You will understand that I was never late, never distracted, never absent. I was simply preparing what my love had already promised. So be patient a little longer, my child. Remain close to me, and trust that even in the quiet, my hands are gently working for your good. And because my hands have never stopped working for you, my child, you do not have to keep holding so tightly to tomorrow. I know why you do. You believe that if you hold on tightly enough, perhaps nothing will fall apart. If you think about every possibility, perhaps you will be ready. If you carry every concern, perhaps those you love will be protected. But look at your heart. Has carrying tomorrow made you stronger, or has it only made you weary? The burdens you have been trying to carry were never designed for your shoulders. Some weights belong only to me. Just as a little child was never meant to carry the responsibilities of a parent, you were never created to carry the future that belongs to your Heavenly Father. You were created to walk with me, not ahead of me, not behind me, beside me. There is a quiet freedom that comes when you finally loosen your grip, not because your circumstances suddenly become simple, but because you realize that my hands are far stronger than yours. You have spent many nights trying to solve tomorrow before it arrives. You have rehearsed conversations that may never happen, imagined disappointments that may never come, carried grief that has not yet appeared. All the while today's peace has quietly slipped through your fingers. My child, I do not want worry to steal the life I have given you today. Today is a gift. This moment is a gift. The breath you are taking right now is a gift. Do not sacrifice today's blessings for tomorrow's uncertainties. Instead, bring those uncertainties to me. Bring me the questions you cannot answer. Bring me the decisions that feel too heavy. Bring me the people you are trying so desperately to protect. Bring me the dreams that seem fragile. Bring me the fears you have hidden even from yourself. There is nothing you place into my hands that I will treat carelessly. I hold every part of your life with perfect love. Even the pieces you think are beyond repair. Perhaps you are wondering what it truly means to place tomorrow into my hands. It does not mean you stop planning. It does not mean you ignore your responsibilities. It does not mean you pretend difficulties do not exist. It simply means that after you have done what today requires, you stop carrying what only tomorrow can reveal. You allow your heart to rest instead of continuing to struggle against what you cannot control. You choose trust where fear once lived. This is not weakness, it is wisdom. Because wisdom recognizes the difference between what belongs to you and what belongs to me. Your part is to love faithfully, to obey quietly, to take the next step I place before you. My part is to guide the path, to open the doors that should be opened, to close the ones that would lead you away from my best, to provide what you cannot provide for yourself. I have never asked you to become your own protector. I have never asked you to become your own provider. I have never asked you to become the author of your own future. Those places have always belonged to me. So release the pressure that has been resting upon your heart for far too long. You do not have to keep proving that you are strong enough. You do not have to keep pretending that you have everything under control. You are safe enough to trust me. Safe enough to be honest with me. Safe enough to rest. And every time worry tries to place tomorrow back into your hands, gently return it to mine, not once, but as many times as necessary. I will never grow impatient with you. I will never say that you have come too often. Each time you entrust your future to me, you are not losing control. You are placing it into the hands of the one who has loved you from the very beginning and who will continue to lead you with perfect faithfulness until the journey is complete. So let tomorrow remain with me, my beloved child. Stay close to me today, and allow your heart to rest in the quiet confidence of my faithful care. Stay close to me, my beloved. There is nothing more you need to carry right now, nothing more you need to solve before you rest. Just remain here with me for a little while. Listen to my voice. Feel the quietness of my presence surrounding your heart. You have spent so much of your life looking ahead, searching, preparing, wondering. Sometimes, without realizing it, you have hurried past the gift of this very moment because your thoughts were already living somewhere else. But I am here, right here. I have always met you in the present moment, not in the worries your mind creates about tomorrow, not in the fears that have not yet become reality. I meet you here. My child, when you become aware of my presence, something beautiful begins to happen. The future no longer seems so frightening. Not because every mystery has been explained, but because you remember that you are not facing it alone. Look at me. Do not keep looking at the road ahead. Roads will change, circumstances will change, people may change, even your own strength may rise and fall, but I do not change. I remain the same faithful Father who has watched over you every day of your life. I remain the shepherd who knows every step of the path before you. I remain the friend who never grows tired of walking beside you. Beloved child, if only you could see yourself through my eyes. You would not see someone who is barely holding everything together. You would see someone deeply loved, carefully guided, patiently shaped. You would see a heart that has already come farther than it realizes, a life that has been sustained by grace again and again. There is no need to prove your strength to me. You never had to. I have never loved you because you carried every burden well. I have loved you because you are mine. That has never changed, and it never will. So be still for a moment. Let your shoulders relax. Let your breathing become slow again. You do not have to brace yourself for every possible tomorrow. You do not have to keep preparing for every imagined outcome. My child, I am already there. While you are resting tonight, I will still be watching over your life. While you are asleep, I will not sleep. While your mind finally grows quiet, my loving care will continue without interruption. This is why you can rest. Not because you have finished every task, not because every prayer has already been answered, but because I never stop being God. I never stop loving you. I never stop caring for the smallest details of your life. Dear one, whenever tomorrow finally arrives, it will not surprise me. It will come exactly where I already am. And when you step into it, you will discover me there, just as you have so many times before, waiting for you, strengthening you, leading you with gentle hands. So do not borrow tomorrow's worries. Do not bring tomorrow's weight into today's peace. Receive the grace I have placed before you now. Receive the quiet I am offering now. Receive the love that has never left you, even in the moments when you struggle to feel it. Stay here with me. Just a little longer. Allow my words to settle into the deepest places of your heart. Let them become gentler than your fears, stronger than your doubts, more familiar than the anxious thoughts that have followed you for so long. My beloved, you do not need to know everything about tomorrow in order to rest tonight. You only need to remember who is holding tomorrow, and you already know me. You know my faithfulness. You know my kindness. You know that I have never walked away from you. I will not begin now. So rest in my presence, my child. Let your heart become quiet in my love, and allow my peace to gently carry you through this day until we walk into tomorrow together. As you go on from this moment, my beloved, do not forget what I have whispered to your heart today. You do not have to carry tomorrow before it comes. You never did. Lay that burden down. Leave it with me. My child, there will be days when your mind begins to wander back toward worry. There will be mornings when fear tries to speak before hope has the chance. There will be nights when questions return and ask for your attention once again. When those moments come, do not be discouraged. Simply come back to me, again and again. I will always be here. I will never grow weary of welcoming you into my presence. I will never become impatient with your fears. I know your heart. I understand the battles no one else can see, and I love you with a love that has never changed. Listen to me, dear one. You are not walking through this life by yourself. Every step you take is known to me. Every prayer is heard. Every tear is seen. Every quiet act of trust is precious in my sight. Even when the road feels uncertain, my hands remain steady. Even when your vision becomes clouded, mine never does. Even when your strength feels small, my strength is more than enough. So let your heart become still. Take this day as my gift. Receive this moment as my grace, and leave every tomorrow safely in my hands, where it has always belonged. Rest tonight knowing that while you sleep, I will continue watching over you. Wake tomorrow knowing that my mercy will already be waiting for you. Walk forward knowing that my presence will never leave your side. My beloved child, I am with you now. I will be with you tomorrow, and I will be with you through every day that follows. There is nothing ahead of you that my love cannot reach. There is nowhere you can go where my presence will not already be waiting. So be at peace. Be still, remain close to me, and let my love quiet every anxious thought until your heart learns to rest completely in me. Amen.